All right, so I did want to mention, Cheri, hopefully you'll be watching the season finale of Flipping Out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a big one.
It's a big one. It's something to not, I mean, you don't want to miss it.
No, I'm very excited.
Well, I did want to, okay, so I want to promote it. It's on tonight at 10/9 Central. Now, there are some things that I'd like to point out that if you blink, you might miss.
Okay.
And the reason I say this is because I'm not trying to sway anyone's opinion. I'm going to let everybody watch it, and everyone is going to come to their own conclusions. But I just want to point out a couple things. Number one, and I think it was maybe the beginning of the episode when Leah Black came in and she did really kind of motivational speaking, and she gave us some organizational advice.
Right, trying to get the office to be more efficient and more, get everyone on the same page.
It was really, really effective. But during that time, now granted this is in front of my whole office, Jenni had admitted that working there was humiliating for her and that she wanted to be an actress. So what that did for me was it really upset me, and it also embarrassed me. And I felt it made this was an inspirational, encouraging space where we were trying to get people motivated.
Right.
And so then for an employee, a long-term employee, to say that it's humiliating working here, that was not really the message that I was trying to convey to my employees. So I was embarrassed and I was hurt by that. So then I wanted to just point out that I was then told later on that this job was keeping her from pursuing her career. So I did want to point out, while you're watching it, just know that she did work in my office the 5 months that we were filming, but otherwise she had 7 months out of the year to pursue whatever she wanted to pursue. Also, when she was working for me the 5 months, it was only 3 or 4 days a week, and I also gave her the flexibility to go to audition. So just remember that, because I want you to understand my mindset, because I did get very upset. And the other thing I wanted to mention is when we're in the car, please pay attention to my point. And my point was, when I got upset, is I had pointed out a mistruth. And that mistruth, all of a sudden, in order to, I think, overlook this mistruth and me calling her out on this false statement, there was a lot of smoke screens and look over here, and it became very personal in that I don't support the career, and I'm not loyal, and I'm not a good friend. All I did was point out a lie. That's all I did.
Right.
So, Gage, is there anything else you want to mention for people to look at tonight, for them to, again, come to their own conclusions?
I just think you have to look at it from the perspective of what happened in the office, and you have to remember that, because it happens early.
Right.
And we've talked about this before. Your delivery on things isn't always the greatest.
It's terrible.
But the point and the message and what you were trying to do as a friend to try to help support her, it's an odd way to support. We all know that. We've watched that for a long time. I live that.
Well, that's how he operates.
But what you were trying to do is, it's there. You just have to sort of read through it and remember, because as you get to the end of the episode, I feel like there's a lot of deflection. And suddenly it's as if you're talking about something completely different from what originally instigated this. That's my only thing. I
did want to mention too that although it's look, it's an uncomfortable, sad episode. It is so raw. It is, in my opinion, and I really try to take myself out of this. It is, I think, the best episode of the entire series, not season.
And I have to
series.
Yeah.
Did you feel like it's good because you feel right?
No, it feels good because, unfortunately, there's a lot of editors that have their hands on this show, and I've never seen the show be like filmed in just like real time. Like the first,
I think it's the first
27 minutes is done in.
You'll see.
It films like in I think we filmed it in like 3 or 4 hours.
It's in sequence of the day.
You have to understand, we film 1,000 hours of TV that gets edited and whittled and manipulated and moved around, and this was like a real, true documentary.
So you don't have a say at all
None
in the editing.
None.
Okay.
Whatsoever. But here. Do I wish there are times where I could take things out? Absolutely. But I think that is what's made this show successful, because if I could go in and now edit the show the way I want, I would look like a one-dimensional character. I'd look like a great guy 24/7.
Right.
It's not authentic.
No, it's not.
Here's the thing. people have gotten so savvy with reality shows that now you can tell when it's complete, when it's scripted, when it's too much is just scripted and forced
set
on
up.
them. It's set up, and that is a testament, because that is what makes, I think, reality shows interesting, is when you see people dealing with the most uncomfortable, raw emotions, and that's what interests me. How do they deal with it, and how would I deal with it? I don't think I could live out loud like that.
Yeah.
But you really have to have you have to have balls to do a reality show and be that exposed.
And to be that you're right, and that vulnerable and that honest.
Right.
And so it's actually, and like, on one hand, it's, for me, a very, very difficult episode to watch. On the other hand, I just feel like the production company and Bravo did a beautiful job putting this together, because it really is so real and unedited.
And people are invested in your friendship, and that's what's hard, I think, for people there. People who love the show it's almost like you're watching family members, because you do know, like, when I see some of the housewives, they're not friends. So when they fight and they say the quote unquote "I'm done," you're like, "I'm done. I'm going to go to the bathroom." Right. You're not invested because you don't believe it. In this case, you see that there is a history.
Yes.
And, ups and downs, and it breaks your heart. And you just hope that at the end of the day, time might need to pass, that, what made you guys good is going to, open up again.
And when you said something about me being right, I want to tell you something. We both were wrong. And I've looked at that episode, and I've had a lot of time to think about it, and I wish I would have handled it differently. And I probably should have not called her out in front of other people, because that really embarrassed her. So she did lie. I hate to say lie, but she did lie. But I hate to say it.
Right.
But I wish I would have handled it differently. It wasn't worth losing a friendship over, and so I have deep regrets about that. So we both were wrong.
Well, that's beautiful of you to say. And as I'm getting to know you, it's kind of like, because I see what you're like on this show sometimes, and there's nothing cuter than when you laugh. Like, that cracks me up. Even like when we're downstairs, and I just see this other side of you. But for you to be able to say, that it wasn't worth losing the friendship.
No.
It's beautiful. You have an edge, but then there's also another side that...
Well, it's important to say,
you brought it up, and then we'll take a break, but you brought it up, Megan, that, my delivery is harsh, and you said this, but it's so crazy, is that it actually, I think I'm helping sometimes by telling you what I think you need to hear.
Right.
And I shouldn't open my mouth. Like, half the time I should not say it, but I think you need to hear it, and I'm trying to help you.
I know, Jeff, you've done it to me. Cheri, your furniture needs to go.
I said that again this morning.
You said it again this morning. Right. I heard you the first frickin' time.